say welcome to another episode of John's Sports Corner. And listen, for you listeners out there, I don't know if you're as excited as I am looking forward to Wednesday. Wednesday is then like when my week starts, okay? Because I get fresh information, okay, that I never had yesterday. So I'm going to tell you this. Welcome again to another episode of John's Sports Corner as John gets us up to date with what's happening in the world of sports. So, John, it's over to you on John's Sports Corner.
And I thank you very much, Trevor, and a very good afternoon to our family and friends locked into John Sports Corner. Thank you for visiting and staying with our global weekly update on the SosoBone Media Network, the global Caribbean media capital. Let me remind you to go to Winner Circle Radio store in the SosoBone shop and go gift shopping.
Oh, yes.
Among the items, t-shirts, backpacks. Again, I mentioned school is about to begin. You might want to get a nice backpack for your child.
Yeah.
So we have backpacks. There are mugs, sorrel, and of course, the great Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee is available. Yes, you heard me. I said the great Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee is always available. And what a great way to start your morning. Let's talk sports as usual. Not breakfast, birthdays. Yesterday, Joe Solomon would have celebrated a birthday, the former Guyana and West Indies cricketer. And for those of you who don't remember Joe Solomon, his run out of Ian Meckiff in the 1960 Brisbane Test match between West Indies and Australia led to the first tied test in cricket history.
Oh, run out.
Also, yes, and the position he was in, he was practically looking at one stump when he threw the ball to the wicket.
And running out.
Also celebrating yesterday, another former West Indies and Barbadian cricketer, Tino Best. Today, Lasith Malinga of Sri Lanka celebrates, and he's the first player to 100 wickets in T20 internationals. And he's the only cricketer with 5 hat-tricks in international cricket.
Okay, John, what is a hat trick in international cricket?
A hat-trick is when you get 3 wickets on a trot.
1, 2, 3?
1, 2, 3.
Oh boy.
Not 1, 2, 4. Or 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
3 balls, 3 wickets.
3 balls, 3 wickets. And the batsman goes back to occupy his spot on the pine. On Sunday, the Murray 400 hurdlers out of Jamaica celebrates a birthday. Sydney Scheider, Reggae Girl goalkeeper, celebrates a birthday on Sunday. So too, Shamar Joseph, Guyana and West Indies cricketer, fast bowler supreme.
Yes,
he will celebrate a birthday on Sunday.
Yes.
Track and field news. The final weekend of the 2025 Diamond League meets started today and will end tomorrow in Zurich, Switzerland. Several Jamaicans down to compete as usual. And today, Rajendra Campbell threw 21.87 meters and placed 3rd in the shot put. While long jumper Wayne Pinnock, he leapt 8.15 meters and placed 4th in his event. Tomorrow, Akira Nugent and Danielle Williams go in the women's 100 hurdles, Orlando Bennett in the 110 hurdles for men.
Mhm.
Andrenet Knight in the 400 hurdles for women.
Mhm.
Akeem Blake in the 100 meters for men. Tia Clayton of the famous Clayton twins. And then I said Tia.
Tina.
She goes in the women's 100 meters.
Mhm.
Shanika Ricketts in the women's triple jump. Jordan Scott in the men's triple jump.
Uh-huh.
Romaine Beckford in the high jump for men. And
Uh-huh.
Roger Stoner in the discus for men. Of course, you know Roger Stoner is the Olympic gold medalist
Mhm.
in Paris last year.
Okay.
Other Caribbean athletes also in action tomorrow. Dominica's Paris Olympic gold medalist in the triple jump, Thea Lafond.
Mhm.
Dominica Republic's gold medalist, Paulina Marilena Paulino in the women's 100 hurdles.
Mhm.
St. Lucia's Julian Alfred, that is the Olympic 100-meter gold medalist for women. She goes in the women's 100. And Dominica Republic's Alexander Oganda in the men's 200 meters.
Aha.
After going medalist over the first 2 days of competition, Jamaica closed the Junior PanAm Games with 15 medals,
Okay.
12 coming in track and field,
Uh-huh.
2 in swimming, and 1 in wrestling.
Wow. Mm.
Let's
Wrestling.
talk track and field first,
Mhm.
because we got, as I said, 12 medals, 4 gold, 4 silver, and 4 bronze.
Okay.
Jashona Dennis in a championship record 45.56 seconds to win the men's 400 meters.
Uh-huh.
Tyrese Hyman, 48.90 seconds to win the men's 400 hurdles.
Mhm.
Raquel Broderick, a championship record 61.79 meters in the men's discus, while
Wow.
Jamaica women's team of Sabrina Dockery, Marissa Palmer, Serena Cole, and Alana Reed ran a games record 43.51 to win the women's 4x1 relay.
Okay. Mm.
The silver medals came from Christopher Young, 59.34 meters in the men's discus.
Mhm.
The men's 4x1 relay made up of Raquel Reed, Jelani Gordon, Odain Crooks, and Nkumi Bourgeoisie
Mhm.
got that silver with a time of 39.21 seconds.
Okay.
Men's 4x4 team also got silver, and that team was Omari Robinson, Jashona Dennis, Kevin Bliss, and Tyrese Hyman, in a time of 3 minutes, 6.59 seconds.
So the men got silver
Silver
in the 4 by
in the
4
4x1.
and the women got gold in the 4x4.
Our women got gold in the 4x1.
In the 4x1. Okay.
Yes. Our women also got silver in the 4x4.
Okay, that's right. That's
And that team was Shanike Williams, Onika Brissett, Danae Alyssa Holstock, and Shana K. Anderson, and they did a time of 3 minutes, 31.74 seconds.
Wow.
The bronze medalist now in track and field again, still, Shana K. Anderson, 53.41 seconds over 400 meters.
Mm-hmm.
Romario Stewart, 50.11 in the men's 400 meters.
Mm-hmm.
Danae Colstock, 58.78 seconds in the women's 400 hurdles.
Huh?
And Chavez Penn, a personal best, 16.44 meters in the men's triple jump.
Okay.
In the women's 100 hurdles, Trevor, Jamaica were expecting 2 medals. However, Anika Wilson did not complete the race, while Brianna Campbell was disqualified under
Oh,
World Athletics Rule TR 22.6. The athlete was deemed not to have cleared one of the 10 hurdles legally.
okay. Now, how does that, how do you clear a hurdle unlegally, John?
If you have one of the outside hurdles, Trevor,
Ah.
you might have brought your trailing leg on the side of the hurdle rather than
Okay.
over the hurdle.
So, okay. I got
Yeah,
you. I'm sure a lot of your viewers didn't know that. So if
well,
one leg is outside the lane of the hurdle, then you might
yeah,
be a half a hurdle.
you have to make sure you get that trailing leg properly over the hurdle.
Oh man. So we
Then
lost
in
out. We expected to get 2 medals and we got no
two
medal.
medals, no medals there.
Mm.
Then in swimming, where we got 2 medals, Sabrina Lynn got silver in the women's 100-meter breaststroke,
Uh-huh.
and Colin McKenzie bronze in the men's 100-meter breaststroke.
Okay.
In wrestling, Tyler Tracy created history, becoming the country's first ever wrestling medalist by winning bronze in the 74-kilogram category.
And this was the women's wrestler.
No, it's a man wrestler, Tyler Tracy,
Okay.
male. Okay, I tell you what, on that note, let's go to a break. We have lots more to come. We'll be right back. Welcome back to John's Sports Corner on the SosoBone Media Network, the global Caribbean media capital. Let's start with cricket, lovely cricket. And we will update, first of all, the Caribbean Premier League that is currently being played. And at the Darren Sammy Cricket Stadium last night, the St. Lucia Kings by 4 wickets over the Guyana Amazon Warriors. And I tell you, Trevor, that was some game. The Warriors scored 202 for 6 from their 20 overs.
Mm-hmm.
Romario Shepherd a blistering 73, not out.
Uh-huh.
Iftikhar Ahmed 33, Keon Gatson 2 for 57 from his 4 overs.
Mm-hmm.
The Kings 203 for 6 from 18.1 overs. Akeem Auguste 73, Tim Seaford 37, Gudakesh Moti 2 for 32 from his 4 overs. Jediah Blades 2 for 35 from 3.1 overs. This is the first time the Guyana Amazon Warriors lose a Caribbean Premier League game after posting 200 runs.
And they lost it to St. Lucia.
And they lost this one to the St. Lucia Kings.
I think the Prime Minister gonna meet them at the airport. Hold on, they played in St. Lucia, right?
well, the tournament not over yet, Trevor. So let's not talk about meeting them yet. Maybe he'll meet a victorious team. Yeah. But the player of the match was adjudged to be Akeem Auguste.
Yes.
A couple of other scores at the Darren Sammy National Cricket Stadium, and no result in the St. Lucia Kings game with the Barbados Royals.
Uh-huh.
At the Sir Viv Richards Stadium, Antigua and Barbuda Falcons by 7 wickets over the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots.
Oh,
The
yes.
Patriots 133 for 9 from their 20 overs. Evan Lewis 32, Mohammed Rizwan 30, Shakib Al Hassan 3 for 11 from his 2 overs.
Mhm.
The Falcons 137 for 3 from 19.4 overs.
Mhm.
Karima Gore 52 not out. Jewel Andrew 28. Ashmead Ned, Wakar Salam Heel, and Navin Bidesi shared the 3 wickets to fall.
Mhm.
This evening, at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, the Trinbago Knight Riders take on the Antigua and Barbuda Falcons.
Again.
In fact, going into tonight's game, Antigua and Barbuda Falcons sit atop the points table with 3 wins and a no result for 7 points.
Mhm.
And they are followed by St. Lucia Kings with 2 wins from 5 games, 6 points, while Guyana Amazon Warriors, Trinbago Knight Riders, and the Patriots, St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots, all have 4 points.
Okay.
Moving now to the Cricket West Indies Rising Stars under 17, and let's talk the 2-day tournament first. At the Inchanali Park, Trinidad and Tobago 252 for 8 from 89.3 overs. Barbados 257 for 9 declared. Captain Gadsden Boyens 111. That match was drawn. Barbados getting first innings points. At National Cricket Centre, Windward Islands 281 for 9 declared. Theo Edward 139. Guyana 264. Windward Islands first innings points. At the Sir Frank Warren Memorial Ground, Leewards 96 and 236 for 8 declared. Jamaica 75 and 195 for 7. Leewards first innings points. At the National Cricket Centre, Barbados crushed Jamaica by an innings and 2 runs. Jamaica 68 and 141. Barbados 211 for 7 declared.
You said 68, John, or 168?
No, forget the one. You heard it right. 6-8. Meanwhile, at the Brian Lara,
I don't think they're gonna meet them at the airport, John.
I have to walk in from the airport here, Trevor. I dropped them off in Mobile and said, walk to Kingston. Anyway, at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, Leewards thrashed the Windward Islands by 244 runs. Leewards 238 and 143 for 9 declared. Windwards 74 and 63. At Queen's Park Oval, Trinidad and Tobago 184, Guyana 109 and 137 for 8. Trinidad and Tobago first innings points. At Queen's Park Oval again, Barbados eased past the Windwards by 10 wickets. Windwards 91 and 131. Barbados 195 for 9 declared and 29 without loss. And finally, at National Cricket Centre, 10-wicket win for Trinidad and Tobago over Jamaica. Jamaica 142 and 122. Trinidad and Tobago 233 and 34 without loss. In the 50 over under 17 competition at Gilbert Park, Trinidad and Tobago in a Duckworth Lewis 5-wicket win over Windward Islands. Windwards 125 in 42.4 overs. Jamie Wickham 34, Tyler Venner 31, Darren Danraj 7 for 22 from 8.1 overs. Trinidad and Tobago, 130 for 5 from 27.4 overs. Christian Lal, 44. Roberto Badri, 24 not out. Salim Khan, 23. Aravinda Bishop, 3 for 34 from 6.4 overs. At Queen's Park Oval, a 4-run Duckworth Lewis win for the Windwards over Jamaica. Jamaica, 217 for 9 from 50 overs. Ryan Littledown, 70. Joel Williams, 40. DeMarcus Scott, 38. Tyler Venner, 3 for 47 from 10 overs. Bjorn Fannis, 2 for 34 from his 10 overs. Elron Glasgow, 2 for 35 from 7 overs. Windwards, 117 for 5 from 23 overs. Theo Edward, 36. Damali Phillips, 25. Ryan Littledown, 4 for 33 from 6 overs. At Inchinali Park, Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana game abandoned without a ball being bowled. At the National Cricket Centre, Leeward's Barbados game ended in a no results. Leeward's batted first and scored 136 for 8 from 32 overs. Amory Jones, 34. Tanez Francis, 25. Justin Paris, 2 for 16 from 7 overs. Reynaldo Bourne, 2 for 23 from 6 overs. Barbados reached 19 without loss after 3.3 overs when that three-word essay took place. Rain, no play.
So John, this rain, no play. Did the fans get their money back?
Well, they get some thrills for a couple of hours. I would also say, see you next game. Moving on in cricket, Trevor, but on the local scene, in the New York Metropolitan Cricket League, Villagers Cricket Club are the 2025 Clement Buster Lawrence Cricket Champions, defeating Westbury Cricket Club by 6-2 runs in Sunday's final at the Roy Sweeney Oval. Villagers 294 for 7 from 40 overs. Geshanan Singh, 77. Barrington Bartley, 76. Javon Sears, 63. Joseph Brown, 3 for 74 from 7 overs. Janoy Drysdale, 2 for 41 from 8 overs. Westbury, 232 in 34.3 overs. Romain Johnson, 54. Richard Allen, 47. Justin Beckford, 38. Shane Cole, 3 for 41 from 8 overs. Ryan Burnett, 3 for 50 from 8. And Salome Panal, 2 for 54 from 8 overs. And again, Cricket West Indies named a 16-man squad to play Sri Lanka in a 7-match youth one-day series in Antigua and Barbuda. Antigua and Barbuda arrived on the 25th, which was, I think, on Monday, and the series runs through September 16th. The first 4 games will be played at the Coolidge Cricket Ground, after which the series moves on to the Sir Viv Richards Stadium. As far as the game schedule goes, Game 1 bowls off August 30th, Game 2 September 2nd, Game 3 September 4th, and Game 4 September 7th. And I said the series then moves on to the Sir Viv Richards Stadium for Game 5, September 9th, Game 6, September 12th, and Game 7th, September 15th. The team will be captained by Barbados' Joshua Dorn, who is fresh off leading Barbados to the Regional Rising Stars Under-19 title and claiming MVP honors with a tournament high 328 runs. The squad is, again, Joshua Dawn, captain, Taekwon Bell, Brendan Boodoo, Tariq Bryan, Afraz Ali Boodoo, Zachary Carter, Ersinho Fontaine, R.J. Gittins, Micah Greenwich, Vitel Laws, Pajay Nelson, Matthew Miller, Israel Morton, Jakeem Pollard, Aiden Racha, and Jonathan Van Lange. Head coach, Rohan Nurse. Assistant coaches are Jerome Taylor and Dalton Polios, while the team manager is Clint St. Hill. And moving on to some news out of India, as 38-year-old former Indian off-spinner Ravindra Ashwin has retired from Indian Premier League cricket and plans to play in franchises across the world. The Board of Control for Cricket in India does not allow their players in India international or domestic cricket to feature in overseas leagues. Ashwin has played for 5 franchises, including the Chennai Super Kings, where he won back-to-back titles in 2010 and 2011. He has taken 537 wickets in 106 test matches at an average of 24.
So now that he has retired, John, he'll be playing outside of India.
Yeah, he's eligible now to play in franchises outside of India.
Probably won't get a passport to come back in, but that's okay.
Well, he actually retired from international cricket, I think it was December last year, Trevor.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I guess he said enough of that. And I know he has retired from playing cricket, as they say, Indian Premier League cricket, so he can play cricket outside of India.
Show me the money. Okay.
And maybe it's more, he wants some more foreign exposure.
Okay.
Maybe he wants to come to the Caribbean to play some Caribbean Premier League cricket to get some good curry goat and oxtail, Trevor. And
well, maybe he wants to play for against Pakistan.
I don't think so, I don't think so at all. He going good here.
Well, I'm just saying that because India refused to play Pakistan, but if he's playing outside of India and he has to play against a Pakistani club, they might not have a choice because it's not a national team.
Well, I'll just moving along, Trevor, quickly. Just as a reminder again that tickets are now available for the 44th Cricket Hall of Fame induction ceremony, scheduled for Saturday, October 4th at the Marriott Hotel in Windsor, Connecticut. And for tickets, you can go to the Cricket Hall of Fame website, crickethof.org. That's crickethof.org and get tickets. Let's start with football. The 2025-26 Jamaica Premier League season kicked off on Sunday, and defending champions Cavalier opened with a 0-0 draw against Harborview. Cavalier are in a rebuilding stage this season, having lost 12 players from last year's championship team, including mainstays Richard King, Dwayne Atkinson, and Jalmara Calvin to overseas clubs.
Wow.
In the last 5 years, Trevor, Cavalier have a remarkable record
Yes.
of winning 3 titles, finishing second once, and third. Not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
In other games,
So when they lose those players, John, what type of compensation does Cavaliers get when their key players are being pirated away?
well, not really pirated away, Trevor. Because one of the things that they do at the club, they have a lot of young players that they build, who they build into the Premier
Pipeline.
League program, and who can go on eventually to play for other clubs. And now, when they get transferred or sold to a club, some money comes in to Cavalier.
Oh, so they're compensated for training them.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh yes. And that's a FIFA rule.
Okay.
Yeah. There's compensation there.
Okay, that is good.
In other Premier League games on the weekend in Jamaica, Mount Pleasant, who played Cavalier in last season's final and were beaten, their game also ended in a draw with Montego Bay United 2-2. Waterhouse 2-0 over Malans United. Chapelton Maroons 2-1 over Tivoli Gardens. Newly promoted team Treasure Beach 2-0 over also newly promoted team Spanish Town Police.
Okay.
And then Portmore defeated Dunby Holding 2-0. And Racing, this is a surprise, 5-1 over Arnett Gardens.
Arnett Gardens, who's in oh well.
Arnett Gardens.
Maybe they were resting the players, Ron?
Maybe. Owen Hill is stepping down as Chief Executive Officer of Professional Football Jamaica Limited, effective September 26, 2025. He described the decision as difficult, but said it came after months of professional reflection.
I mean, and that means a lot of stress. Okay, go ahead.
I like those big words, Trevor. I like when people put these things like that after months of professional reflection. But but I'm available for consultation if you need consult,
After months of professional reflection, I have to file a divorce from this company.
Yeah. Anyway, the Jamaica Football Federation have named a 44-member, what they have called a watch list, from which the squad for the next round of World Cup qualifiers will be selected on Friday.
Okay.
Jamaica drawn in Group B of the final round of qualifiers, along with Trinidad and Tobago, Curacao, and Bermuda. They play Bermuda September 5th in Bermuda, then come home September 9th against Trinidad and Tobago. A trend of uncertainty remains regarding Mason Greenwood. He is not in the watch list. Matter of fact, Trevor, I don't even think Jamaica football should have been chasing after Greenwood.
Okay.
In the way that they have. I think they should just leave him alone, to play his premier football in France or wherever he's playing, but focus on the players that we have now and who have been playing with the country for the last couple of years.
Well, personally, John, I wouldn't play any player who is not eating yellow yam.
Or who, even if they don't even come down to visit to get some of the yellow yam
Okay.
and Lakatan, banana,
Okay.
and Gros Mitchell, you know?
He's
Yeah,
he's over in France eating croissants.
you know? And tuna. You know, I don't know. But how they have gone after him because he was a good prospect with Manchester United as a youngster. And
Mhm,
he's still young.
mhm.
Um and run into some legal issues. But the way they have he has kind of like held them like a puppet on a string to me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, you know. Um
Mhm,
and then England say he played what is it played under 19, I think, with England around one of them
mhm.
for England. But England, because of the legal issues that he had, they say he's not playing for England anymore.
Okay. Well,
And you know, he's Jamaica eligible, and Jamaica went after him. But I would not have chased after him the way they have.
not
I, I,
if you run into enough trouble in a major country like England, so that they have to walk away from him. You know, I mean, he doesn't have 34 accounts, but I think that he might have enough to say.
yeah, I guess it. Anyway, Trevor, I'll just run through. Bear with me. The names that have been selected, the 44 players that have been selected on the so-called watch list. I don't know why they didn't just name the squad to play the two games, Trevor.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, in goal, Andre Blake, of course, who is the Reggae Boys captain,
Mhm.
Jamali Waite, Shaquan Davis, Amal Knight, and Tafari Chambers. In defense, Dexter Lambikisa, Amari Bell, Mason Holgate, Richard King, Joel Latibadier, Damian Lowe, Greg Leach, Ethan Pinnock, Rico Henry, and Deshaun Bernard. In midfield, Casey Palmer, Isaac Hayden, John Russell, Jashawn Anglin, Keroy Anderson,
Mhm.
Ian Frey, Bobby Reed, Tyrese Hall, Janero Johnson, and Kevon Lambert. While up front, the forward line, Tyrese Campbell, Leon Bailey, Haim Dixon, Damari Gray, Shamar Nicholson, Dejon Whisper Richards, Warner Brown, Roman Burrell, Ronaldo Cephas, Michael Antonio, Norman Campbell, Trevante Stewart, Cameron Archer, Malik Mothersill,
Mhm.
Bailey Kademartin,
Okay.
Romario Williams, Javon East, Jamal Lowe, and Seymour Reed.
You heard any of the names of our guys we used to have in Caribbean Cup soccer in Brooklyn, John? Rom was Romaro Williams one of the people we had?
Yeah, but um, those guys way past
Did
Jamaica selection, no, you know, Trevor.
Okay, they're gone.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They way past Jamaica selection. Oh, they are not older now, maybe closer to 40.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
So, you know, yeah, out of it.
Mhm.
Anyway, the 2025 CONCACAF Caribbean Cup tournament is still on. And yesterday,
Mhm.
Suriname, SV Robin Hood, in
Mhm.
a 2-2 tie with Trinidad and Tobago's Central Football Club.
Uh-huh.
Dominica's Shibo 2-1 over Barbados, Weymouth, Wales.
Mhm.
And today, Mocha will be hosting Mount Pleasant Football Club.
Mhm.
And tomorrow, Cavalier host Haiti's Juventus at Sabina Park.
Mhm. So
English Premier,
Arnett Gardens had been knocked out of the plane.
yeah man, Arnett played in the Arnett played in the Caribbean Football Union Shield, not the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup.
But last year they were in the CONCACAF Cup.
Last year, no, they won. They were the defending champions of the Caribbean Football Union Shield.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where my entanglement has gone. Okay.
Well, English Premiership, Trevor, Friday, Chelsea put 5 past West Ham in a 5-1 win. Then on Saturday, Tottenham, this was a surprise, 2 goals to zip over Manchester City.
No.
Bournemouth 1-0 over Wolverhampton Wanderers. Brentford 1-0 over Aston Villa. Burnley 2-0 over Sunderland. And Arsenal. Boy, Arsenal seem to be marching this year, Trevor. They 5 goals to zip over Leeds.
Oh boy.
On Sunday, Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest in a 1-1 stalemate. I don't know if Nottingham have to go look for Robin Hood, you know. Trevor, Everton 2-0 over Brighton. And I tell you, that second goal that Ghana scored was a peach, Trevor. Yeah. How he controlled it and then drive. Manchester United and Fulham in a 1-1 stalemate.
Okay.
Talk about a lucky goal, you know, Trevor, for Manchester United.
Well, that
But
was
you take a shot and it comes off the back of the defender and drops in the goal.
Yeah, because you know when I hear that Man City lose,
yeah,
I'm saying, well, I hope Man U win.
well, they were leading 1-0 up to late in the game, you know, before Fulham equalized. Yesterday, it took a second half stoppage time goal for Liverpool to get by 10-man Newcastle, 3 goals to 2, after Anthony Gordon was red carded in the first half of stoppage time. So Newcastle played the entire second half with 10 men. And the Liverpool winner was scored by 16-year-old Rio Ngumoha, who came on as a substitute late in the game. Professor, we talked about FIFA reviewing the offside rule a few weeks ago.
Yes.
Today, I think it's about time FIFA Rules Committee also address that red card rule.
Yes.
And I have a couple of options.
Okay, let's hear them.
Instead of disqualifying a player for the entire game when he's red carded and his team playing a man short, I think FIFA should give maybe a 10-minute disqualification rule, similar to maybe hockey.
Yes.
That the player can return to the game, or if you disqualify that player, then after that 10 minutes, another player can come in to replace him.
You sub one into the game.
A sub.
And you know,
because I don't think I mean, like the Premier League game with Newcastle yesterday and Liverpool, he gets red carded before the first half is done, and Newcastle has to play the entire second half with 10 men, and they tied that score at 2-2. You know, it's seconds left in the game that Liverpool score and win.
And I have to agree with you, John, because there is no sense in having a bench if circumstances does not evolve during the game that requires, that mandates that you have to use the bench. That is, after we eject a player, like in basketball, you have to you go to your bench.
Yeah.
You can penalize the red card, John, with a penalty shot. Okay, and then you sub another player into the game. That is, and I'm sure, John, the other team would rather be taking a penalty shot than having to play the entire game trying to score an extra goal. Okay? So the fans would be treated more fairly when they actually come to see a competitive game with 11 players on the field. And if, like in hockey, as we said, you have a time span where the team is without the player because
the power play.
yes, exactly. And the other team knows that they have to work harder until their reinforcement comes. And in every capacity, even in the Army or in the Navy or in the Air Force, when one thing goes down, you sort of send another one out there to replace it. So FIFA,
and Trevor, and I think especially in a championship game, a final, and the team loses a player because of indiscretion, then let's call it that, or a player being irrational in a tackle, and they play an entire half or more than a half with 10 men.
or a player being bribed to get himself disqualified. And I say this because when it comes to FIFA, we were not talking about the dishonesty of the players. We're talking about the dishonesty of the upper echelon.
Okay, Trevor, let's move on to some tennis. As the 2025 US Open is underway, and much ado has been made of 45-year-old Venus Williams entering. It is her first entry in a Grand Slam tournament in 2 years. Venus lost her first round game to 11th seeded Czechoslovakian Karolina Muchova 3-6, 6-2, 1-6. Venus, who has had some health issues over the years, was non-committal in her win, as far as what she will be doing next, Trevor. And I don't know why they're making such a big deal out of Venus. She likes to play tennis. And her career was interrupted by injury over a period. And she, after, I guess, surgeries, she feels pretty, call it healthy now, and she wants to play tennis.
No, I think it's good that they're making a big deal out of it, John, because it announces her return. The fact that she came back does not mean that she expected to win every game she played.
No.
Because she has to play herself back into form at the level. So yes, she has to go by 11 seeded, John, eventually.
But I tell you something,
before she can challenge the number 1 or the number 2 seed.
I tell you something. The fact that she came back to play in that one game, stadium full.
That's right.
Money talk, nobody walk.
That's right. That is right. Listen, we went through that with Tiger Woods, John.
Yeah, but I saw an interview, Trevor. They interviewed this lady, and she said when she heard Venus was playing, she come up from Georgia because she has never missed a tennis match with Venus.
That is right. That is right.
I tell you.
And we see the same thing, John, with other team sport. When a team is coming into play, even if that team is not the number 1 in the league, even in a basketball team, there are certain games that are gonna get sold out. I mean, I don't want to mention the Knicks, your favorite Knicks, who finally start getting who was always sold out, John. Okay, but to have a
Next, about
legitimate reason now to be sold out.
the Giants sell out. I'll, I'll win 2 games in the season. Yeah, come on.
That's right. So
You know,
Venus, kudos to you, Venus. We
yeah.
welcome you, we support you. And yes, again,
You know,
it's like I
Venus
like
was
to
always,
Venus is like I like to say to John on many occasions. It's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game.
and, and Venus was always my girl, you know, Trevor. Venus, oh Venus, make my dreams come true. Anyway, Trevor, Coco Gauff opened her US Open with a win,
Mhm.
defeating Australia's Ajla Tomljanovic 6-4, 6-7, 7-5. It was
Mhm.
a close game,
So
but Coco is
she
through.
stopped crying long enough to win this one.
She's through. You know, she got past the first round.
Okay.
And let's start with some volleyball. The Calypso Spikers are the Kosovo women's volleyball champions, their 9th Caribbean title. And the Calypso Spikers are the Trinidad and Tobago women's netball team. They defeated Barbados 23-25, 25-23, 26-24, 31-29.
Mm.
While Jamaica women defeated Guadeloupe 25-10, 25-21, 25-23 to secure the bronze medal.
Uh-huh.
Trinidad and Tobago's Shannon Thompson was named MVP, her 4th MVP award.
Uh-huh.
On the men's side, Curacao defeated Bahamas 25-21, 25-23, 25-16 for the Kosovo men's title. Jamaica again getting the bronze, defeating Suriname 25-23, 33-31, 29-31, 29-27.
Okay.
Derwin Colina of Curacao was named MVP.
Okay.
And some cycling news. Laurie Sharp, Jamaica's national female cyclist, was injured after being hit from her bike by a car during a training session. It is being reported that she sustained a fractured scapula, which,
Mm.
of course, you know, is the shoulder blade.
Mm-hmm.
She was treated at the hospital and released.
Okay.
Her bicycle was reportedly badly damaged and deemed irreparable.
So that was not treated at the
Laurie,
hospital.
Laurie actually, Trevor, was preparing for the end of the 2025 season and scheduled to compete in the criterium races in St. Louis,
Mm.
Missouri, Maryland, and
Uh,
Pennsylvania.
uh,
And then the Tour de Rim, Tour de Bim
mm.
in Barbados, September 25th through the 28th.
Mm-hmm.
She was also set to defend her title at the Caribbean Cycling Championships in Belize,
Mm-hmm.
October 9th through the 13th.
You know, John, talking about cycling, I've not heard too much about the Tour de France lately. What happened to that, John?
It's still on, Trevor.
I mean,
As a,
there was a time when it used to occupy the headlights.
yeah, yeah. Um, you know, I'm going to check, but believe I saw a clip somewhere that this African black person won the Tour de France or one of the races for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And I will double check that so I can speak more on it next week. But I think I saw a thing that Well, it's funny you asked about the Tour de France because I was just glancing at something and saw that,
Mhm.
but I didn't include it in my report for this week.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
just that, I've been brought cycling, we know there was a time when America had a good challenge, yeah. Um, and it sort of ended up in a little bit messy.
Yeah,
And
but Trevor, once America is not winning, it's like when America does not have the heavyweight boxing champion anymore, and you don't hear too much about boxing.
yeah,
they
and
don't,
that's a shame,
they don't have the greatest fighter anymore.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, let's talk some lacrosse, as Jamaica certainly not doing badly or have not done badly in the World Under-20 Lacrosse Championships in South Korea. After losing their opening game 11-14 to England, Jamaica got on the winning side of the slate, defeating the host 17-7 in their second Pool C game. They also defeated New Zealand 18-6 and then came from behind to defeat Ireland 10-7.
Mm.
Jamaica then advanced to the quarterfinal round, but were wiped out by Canada
Oh,
21-1.
oh my.
The
Mm.
first time Jamaica reached as far as the quarterfinal round, Trevor.
Mm.
And then they lost a second time to England, but in a much closer encounter this time, 14-13.
Okay, that was encouragement. And then, say
Yeah.
encouragement sweeten labor.
And lacrosse is really something that, if you want to call it, Jamaica has just picked up, Trevor.
Hmm.
So we really don't have that kind of history with lacrosse
Hmm.
yet, and they are doing well. And our ladies were here a couple of years ago in Maryland at the World Championships. So it's lacrosse is beginning, and it's in the schools now. So it's
Are,
beginning to pick up.
are they using local players or they're using some of the
Yeah,
expats that you have?
yeah. hmm
They're
It's
using
local
locals.
players. Yeah.
That is good.
Mhm.
That is good.
We have some netball news now as coming up next month. The World Youth Netball Championships in Gibraltar, September 19th through the 28th.
Hmm.
Netball Jamaica hoping to send a full complement of 15 players, but need another $6 million or so
Mm.
to be able to include the 3 reserves on the trip. Newly elected president of Netball Jamaica, Miss Karen Rosenbaugh, says funding has been secured for the playing squad of 12 players,
Hmm.
but they would like to take the 3 reserves along, and so they need that additional approximately $5 to $6 million.
And please, John, please let them understand you're talking about Jamaican dollars.
Yeah, yes, it's Jamaican dollars. you know, yeah, Jamaican dollars. And again, Jamaica, Barbados, and Trinidad and Tobago will be representing the Americas region. Again, too, international netball is ahead of the Jamaica Sunshine Girls as they renew their rivalry with the English Roses in the Vitality Series in December. The first 2 games will be played in Jamaica at the National Indoor Sports Center, December 6th and 7th. Then the series moves to England at the Copper Box Arena in London, December 13th and 14th. And moving a little bit across the Caribbean, an all-female Mexican refereeing crew will take charge of the FIFA World Cup qualifier between Trinidad and Tobago and Curacao.
Hmm.
The crew will include referee Petia Garcia, assistant referees Sandra Ramirez and Karen Diaz, with Daniel Quintero serving as the fourth official. This move underscores FIFA's ongoing commitment to advancing women in football refereeing at the highest levels of the game. Over in Guyana, Jamal John clinched the Farm Supplies Limited Circuit race, which went over 40 miles. He got stiff competition from Paul de Nobrega and Era Newton, but eventually crossed the line ahead of both riders. And moving on to today's look at cricket history, 37-year-old Cheteshwar Pujara has announced his retirement from Test cricket after representing India in 103 Test matches.
Okay.
He scored 7,195 Test runs, including 19 centuries, with a top score of 206 not out against England at Ahmedabad in 2012. He hasn't played a Test match since the 2023 World Test Championships against Australia. Pujara made his Test debut against Australia in Bangalore in 2010. And in the 2018-19 series in Australia, he was named Player of the Series in what was India's first Test series win on Australian soil. He scored 521 runs in the series with 3 Test centuries.
No, John, when you mention retirement, some things always pop up into my head, like, what is the retirement pension package like for these cricketers, John?
The retirement package, Trevor?
Pension.
Pension?
Yes, John.
I don't have the exact numbers.
But they do have a they have a lucrative pension plan.
In the for the West Indies cricketers?
Well, I figure that
are for international and the international overseas, I should say.
I would hope, John, that ICC, in being the umbrella organization, is gonna grant equal benefits, even though they might be not equal in value, but the structure of the workplace would say that if you have somebody who is a supervisor who is getting Social Security, the guy doing the sweeping, the sanitation man also, when he retires, should also qualify. So I'm talking about being a part of the industry.
Trevor, maybe you live in America too long. Trevor, I don't even think, hold on, what's his name again? Our former umpire. How bad is my memory? Steve Buckner, who was an elite, ICC elite umpire. I am not sure that he getting any kind of pension after the years of being an elite umpire. But because remember, no, Trevor, ICC is not a governing body like FIFA in footballing.
Well, what you might need, John, you might need a good class action lawsuit, John, to make them a governing responsible body. Because when you check the ICC account, John, sitting right now, they got a couple $1 billion in the account, John. and to think that you're gonna think that the battery in the car, John, is more important than the spark plug, which is the guy that was the umpire. So the battery gets serviced, but the spark plug gets thrown away. is something that even if you lose it in a court of law, I think the visibility of the inequality, the transparency of inequality is what changed the way selfish people set up a system, John. That is why I asked the question, just to put it in the records, John, that the question is asked, and maybe by the time we come back next week, we might be able to look at whether or not there is a uniform compensation package in place for people who
Pension.
support.
Yeah, but I think I am not sure how West Indies Players Association works, Trevor.
Mhm,
But and what kind of benefits players get
uh-huh,
from joining being part of West Indies Players Association,
mhm,
because even in football, Trevor,
mhm,
uh, we might be a little bit behind in terms of those kind of things in the Caribbean. Because I know as a fact, I think it was just recently, last year or so, even in Jamaica, they just formed a past players association, which right now, I don't think current players, say Premier League or Premier League, or international players contribute to. But it is formed to assist past players who might be on some hard times. So
yes, and I don't think it should be a hard time thing. That is my point. I think that even though they might,
right.
I think even if they started the union later, John, John, reparations is what I am talking about. Because
Mm,
for you to say where cricket is now, you have to say where it is coming from, and those are the people who brought it from A to Z.
mm-hmm,
Okay, so the same way we talk about reparations for free labor, we're talking if they qualify now, and if you think it is just now that they should be regarded as employees or even contract employees, and you're going to be able to compensate them at a later time, then it means that those who were before might, does not are not disqualified.
mm,
And that is the type of discussion that we have to be able to put out in the open. So when you talk about bringing cricket to America and encouraging high schoolers and to start choosing cricket instead of baseball or football or soccer, that when they look at the compensation level in the other sports, they don't say cricket is a joke and choose to go someplace else where the players union for the NBA, when they sit down, they're talking about retirement benefits when players are hurt and they can't play anymore. And the fact that
mm.
the lifespan of an NBA player is what, 12 years?
No, I don't think it's maybe 5 or 6 years, Trevor.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, average.
Yes, the average. Yes. So I'm saying
Mm.
that even as we talk about cricket coming into an
You're talking about the playing life.
yes, I'm talking about playing live, you know. So I'm saying, that pipe, there's certain parts of the world where the colonial system does not still endure. Okay, where you said that okay, there changes have taken place. Where even after a player stops playing, you're still showing the videos, John,
Yeah,
of the games that they participated in when they were playing.
yeah,
And they're entitled, therefore, to compensation for using them and their images along the same line.
yeah.
So if that is what the world is moved to, then cricket should be thinking about setting up platforms like that compensate. So if I'm watching Sir Garfield and Sir Viv on a video right now on Willow, watching the games that they played, those players should be getting royalty from the funds that are generated by the recordings.
Mm. I just, as a matter, I was working on my Dr. Google about the lifespan of an NBA player, and
uh,
I said 5 to 6 years. This said 4.8 years.
4.8 years.
Yeah,
Yes,
approximately.
yes. So I'm just saying that platform like ours that talk about sports, yes, we have to go beyond the game and beyond the scores.
Yeah.
You know, we have to be thinking about the interests of the players, short term and long term. The same we talk about substituting a player when he gets hurt, in soccer or in baseball or in basketball versus the non-substitution type of rules that we have in cricket.
Hmm.
We're okay, say for concussion you can't substitute a player, but if he breaks his hand, he has to back with a broken hand. Madness.
Yeah, Trevor, just let me wrap this up. First of all, Atlantis Cricket Club barbecue and lime. Now, when I say lime in Caribbean vernacular, lime means party. Lime don't mean some exact green thing that you squeeze and get juice. So, Atlantis Cricket Club barbecue and lime. September is this weekend, next weekend.
Okay.
September 6th.
Uh-huh.
At 236-12 129th Avenue in Rosedale, Queens,
Mm.
and festivities begin at 2 p.m.
Uh-huh.
And the Atlantis Cricket Club is asking you to come out and support.
Okay.
And again, finally, UJA, the Union of Jamaica Alumni Association, is having their 35th anniversary luncheon and awards gala at the Green Tree Country Club in New Rochelle on Sunday, September 14th, starting at 11:30 a.m. For tickets or for ticket information, you can go to ujausa.org. That is UJAAUSA.org.
Okay.
And that's where I draw the covers on John Sports Corner for this Wednesday afternoon on the SosoBone Media Network. Thanks for joining us. Tell a friend that we span the sports globe. And remember to go to the Winner's Circle store in the SosoBone shop and pick up available merchandise of your choice, as well as the great Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee. Be safe.